They say money changes people. But my son, he was rotten long before the inheritance. And when my husband died, I made sure Daniel would never see a single cent of that $19 million. Thank God he never found out, until it was too late. Fade in, a dimly lit study. A woman's hands shuffle through legal documents. A single photo of a smiling family, now torn in half. The day we buried Richard, it rained. Not the gentle kind. The kind that feels like the sky itself is mourning. Or maybe, warning me. The church was half empty. Distant relatives, business associates, a few pitying neighbors. And then there was Daniel, my son, standing at the front, dry-eyed, his jaw tight, not from grief but from impatience. I watched him from behind my black veil, clutching the folded eulogy I never got to read. The priest spoke words I didn't hear. All I could think about was the safe deposit box key burning a hole in my pocket. Richard had given it to me a week before his accident. If anything happens to me, open it alone. I should have known then. $19 million. Hidden where no one would look. Not even our son. The lawyer had stammered through the will. A bland, public version. The house to me. A trust fund for Daniel. Nothing unusual. But the real will was in that safe deposit box. Claire, my love. If you're reading this, I'm gone. And if I'm gone, it wasn't an accident. My hands trembled as I scanned the documents. Offshore accounts, shell companies, and a single line that made my blood freeze. Daniel cannot know. He's not who you think he is. I raised him, loved him. But the man at that funeral, that wasn't my son. That was a vulture, waiting to pick at his father's bones. Daniel moved in temporarily after the funeral to help me, but his eyes lingered too long on the property deeds. His questions about the will were a little too sharp. Then one night I heard him on the phone. Don't worry, she's clueless. Once we get control, it's ours. That's when I knew. Richard didn't just suspect Daniel. He knew. So I did what any grieving widow would do. I played the fool. I let Daniel see me crying over bills. Watched his smirk as I fretted about downsizing. I even let him help me sort Richard's finances, feeding him fake account statements, watching his frustration grow. All while the real money sat untouched, waiting. Revenge isn't about violence. It's about patience. And I had all the time in the world. I hired a private investigator. Dug into Daniel's past. And what I found? Forged documents from when Richard first fell ill. Deleted emails to a pharmaceutical supplier. A life insurance policy, with Daniel as the sole beneficiary. But the final nail. A witness. A nurse who saw Daniel switch his father's medication. The day I finally told him the truth was the day I took everything from him. Daniel stormed into the study, furious. Where's the money, Mom? Stop pretending. Smiled. Turned on the recorder. You mean the $19 million? Oh, Daniel, it's gone. His face twisted. What? I donated it. In your name. I slid the evidence across the desk. The falsified prescriptions. The witness statement. And if you ever try to contest the will, this goes straight to the police. For the first time in his life, my son looked at me with fear. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. But mine. I served it in silence. And as I watch him now, broken and alone, I can finally say it. Pause. A soft, chilling laugh. Thank God Richard left me that money. Fade to black. The last thing my husband ever said to me was, trust no one. Not even the priest. Not even the police. And especially, not our son. Fade in, a hospital room. Machines beep steadily. Richard Mercer, pale and gaunt, grips his wife's hand with surprising strength. Richard, weak but urgent. Claire, the safe deposit box. Keys in my golf bag. If anything happens, don't trust Daniel. Claire, confused, frightened. What are you talking about? Daniel's our. Richard, cutting her off, desperate. He's been accessing my accounts, forging my signature. Claire, he poisoned me. A sudden flatline screeches from the heart monitor. Doctors rush in. Claire is shoved aside. The last thing she sees is her husband's lifeless eyes, still wide with warning. Smash cut to black. At the funeral, I wore black like a good widow should. But under my veil, I wasn't crying. I was watching, waiting. Because the moment Richard's casket hit the ground, my son smiled. The reception was a parade of hollow condolences. Distant cousins murmuring about God's plan. Business associates already angling for Richard's clients. And Daniel, my only child, standing by the open bar, laughing too loud with his college friends. His arm around a blonde woman I'd never met, her diamond bracelet glinting under the funeral home lights. Richard's bracelet. The one he bought for our 25th anniversary. That's when I knew. My husband hadn't been paranoid. He'd been right. The safe deposit box didn't just hold money. It held my husband's final revenge. And now, it was mine to finish. The bank manager frowned as he slid box number 717 across the table. Bank manager. Mr. Mercer updated the access logs last week. Strange. He usually came in quarterly. Inside. A second will, notarized 3 days before Richard's death. Bank statements from the Caymans. $19,437,812. A burner phone with one contact. P.I. Use me. And a handwritten note. Claire, if you're reading this, Daniel's already planning your accident too. Play dumb. Then destroy him. My fingers traced the jagged handwriting, the way Richard's pen had nearly torn through the paper. This wasn't grief. This was war. I invited the wolf back into my home. And oh, how he preened. Daniel moved in to help, the day after the will reading. Daniel, kissing my cheek, reeking of bourbon. Don't worry, Mom. I'll take care of everything. He did. Accidentally spilled coffee on Richard's financial files. Misplaced the deed to the summer house. Pressured me to sign routine paperwork that would have made him my legal guardian. All while his girlfriend, Jessica, suddenly started dropping by with casseroles. Cutio. Jessica's Louboutins clicking across our hardwood floors as she innocently poked through my jewelry box. Jessica, fake sweet. These pearls would look amazing on me, don't you think? Smiled. Let her take them. Troll. Smash cut. Me planting a GPS tracker in her designer purse. The PI didn't just find evidence. He found a pattern. P.I. Carter, sliding photos across a diner booth. Your son's been busy. 3 weeks before your husband got sick. Daniel took out a $2 million life insurance policy. The photos showed Daniel meeting a pharmacist at a shady motel. Bank transfers to an offshore account labeled Medical Solutions. And the kicker, Jessica wasn't his girlfriend. She was a con artist. Specialized in wealthy widowers. P.I. Carter, grim. Your son didn't just kill his father, Mrs. Mercer. He's been planning yours too. Record scratch. Flashback to Daniel, age 8. Hugging me after a nightmare. When did my little boy become a monster? They say revenge tastes sweet. Mine. I served it in their favorite wine. I threw a dinner party. For Daniel. His favorite 82 Bordeaux, laced with laxatives. For Jessica. Accidentally switching her plate with Daniel's, she's deathly allergic to shellfish. Watching them scramble to the bathroom. Priceless. But the real masterpiece. Claire, innocently to the guests. Oh dear. Daniel must have eaten Jessica's shrimp scampi. Good thing the hospital's only 15 minutes away. Cutio, Daniel's Porsche speeding. Then crashing into a tree when the laxatives hit mid-drive. The day I revealed the truth was the day I buried my son alive. I let Daniel think he'd won. Let him pressure me into signing over the house. Then, in front of his lawyer. Claire, smiling, hitting play on my phone. Let's all listen to this voicemail Daniel left Jessica last night. Daniel's voice, sneering on recording. Once the dumb bitch signs the house over, we'll stage her suicide. Just like Dad. Dead silence. The lawyer slowly pushes the paperwork away. Claire brightly. Oh. And about that $19 million. Slides charity donation papers across the table. In Daniel's name. Claire. Enjoy paying taxes on that, sweetheart. They say money can't buy happiness. But watching my son get arrested for attempted murder. Worth every penny. Epilogue. 1 year later. Prison orange suits Daniel. So does his new boyfriend. A 250-pound cellmate named Tiny. Montage. Claire on a beach, sipping mojitos, as news footage plays of Daniel's trial. News anchor. In a shocking twist, the $19 million donation has sparked an IRS investigation into Daniel Mercer's hidden offshore accounts. Thank God Richard left me that money. And thank God I was smart enough to keep just enough for myself. Fade to black. The sound of waves crashing. End. They say money changes people. But my son. He was rotten long before the inheritance. And when my husband died, I made sure Daniel would never see a single cent of that $19 million. Thank God he never found out. Until it was too late. Fade in. A hospital room at 3:17 a.m. Machines beep erratically. Richard Mercer's skeletal hand clutches his wife's wrist. His nails leaving half-moon indentations in her skin. Richard, gasping bloody spittle on his lips. The safe deposit box. Geneva Trust Bank. Don't let him find it. His monitor flatlines with a piercing "eh." Doctors rush in. Claire is shoved aside. The last thing she sees before they pull the sheet over his face. His dead eyes still wide with terror. Smash cut to black. A funeral director zipping the body bag. At the funeral, I wore black like a good widow should. But under my veil, I wasn't crying. I was watching. Because the moment Richard's casket hit the ground, my son smiled. The reception was a grotesque pantomime. Distant cousins whispering about God's plan, while eyeing the silverware. Richard's business partners already circling his vacant CEO seat. And Daniel, my golden child. Daniel, Armani suit, Rolex glinting as he accepts condolences. His hand lingers too long on the blonde realtor's lower back. Jessica. Jessica, biting her lip, fake sad. Your father was such a generous man. Her manicured fingers slipping Richard's Cartier watch into her clutch. I let her take it. Droll. The GPS tracker I'd sewn into her purse lining blinking steadily on my phone. The safe deposit box didn't just hold money. It held my husband's final revenge. And now. It was mine to finish. Geneva Trust Bank smelled of lemon polish and paranoia. The manager's eyebrows climbed when I produced key number 717. Bank manager, nervous. Mr. Mercer updated the access logs 2 days before his passing. Unusual. He usually came quarterly. Inside. A second will, notarized 72 hours pre-death. 19 account statements from the Caymans. $19,437,812. A burner phone with one contact. P.I. Use me. And a handwritten note in Richard's jagged scrawl. Claire, if you're reading this, Daniel's already planning your accident. Play dumb. Then destroy him. Flashback. Daniel at 8 years old, sobbing after killing a neighbor's cat. It was an accident, Mommy. I should have seen it then. I invited the wolf back into my home. And oh, how he preened. Daniel temporarily moved into the guest wing. Daniel, kissing my cheek, bourbon on his breath. Don't worry, Mom. I'll handle everything. He did. Spilled coffee on Richard's financial files. Lost the deed to the Martha's Vineyard estate. Pressured me to sign routine guardianship papers. All while Jessica started dropping by with casseroles. Montage. Jessica's Louboutins clicking through the house as she admires my jewelry, my art, my will. Jessica, sickly sweet. You're so brave living here alone. Maybe we should install security cameras. Smiled. Nodded. And that night, me swapping her Xanax with laxative capsules. The PI didn't just bring evidence. He brought a funeral wreath with Daniel's name on it. PI Carter, sliding an envelope across a diner booth. Your son took out a $2 million life insurance policy on you last month. The photos showed Daniel meeting a compounding pharmacist at a no-tell motel. Texts to Jessica. Double the fentanyl this time. And the kicker. Jessica's real name was Lisa Grayson. P.I. Carter. 3 dead husbands. All accidental overdoses. Your son didn't just pick her. He hired her. Flashback. Daniel at 14, smiling as he watched his bully choke on a peanut. Time to return the favor. Revenge is a dish best served, allergic. I threw a let's discuss the will dinner. Daniel's plate. His favorite truffle risotto laced with ipecac. Jessica's wine. Switched with the shellfish marinated Chardonnay. The piece de resistance. A notary public hidden in the pantry. Jessica, gasping, throat swelling. My EpiPen wears. Claire, batting eyelashes. Oh dear. Daniel must have used it after his last, accidental overdose. Cutio. Daniel vomiting violently in the Uber while Jessica turns blue. Hoopsie. The inheritance trap. The day I revealed the truth was the day I buried my son alive. I let Daniel think he'd won. Let him drag me to his lawyer's office to sign over the estate. Claire, pressing play on my phone. Let's all enjoy this voicemail Daniel left Jessica last night. Daniel's voice sneering. Once the senile bitch signs, we'll stage her suicide like Dad's. Just remember, no bruises this time. Dead silence. The lawyer's pen clatters to the floor. Claire sweetly. Oh, and about that $19 million. Slides charity donation papers across the table. In Daniel's name. Claire. Enjoy the IRS audit, sweetheart. Asterisk. They say money can't buy happiness. But watching my son get 25 to life. Asterisk. Priceless. 1 year later. Asterisk. Prison orange suits Daniel. So does his new cellmate. A 280-pound tax fraud named Big Phil, who really loves blondes. Asterisk. Montage. Claire sipping mojitos in Bora Bora as news footage plays. News anchor. In a shocking twist, the $19 million Daniel Mercer Memorial donation triggered an IRS investigation, uncovering his hidden offshore. Thank God Richard left me that money. And thank God I kept just enough for a first-class ticket to nowhere.